look at Medici. She's beautiful. She's a jewel in the sun. But you see Medici. She's completely rotten.
Soon, the world will know the extent of my power.
You see, Sebastiano di Ravello is sitting on a ton of Bavarian, which makes him the agency's best goddamn friend.
We're at the PlayStation pop-up venue here in Stockholm, celebrating the launch of Just Cause 3. And Björn, first, can you tell us a little bit about what you've been contributing with in the game?
I work as a 3D artist, so I've been working mostly with the Vegetation, and I've also done a lot of work on military bases and stuff you see that blow up in the trailers.
So we get to blow up the stuff that you did.
Yeah, that's part of my work. That's true for Vegetation also. So everything breaks in Just Cause 3. Also worked some on the landscape art and so on.
So what can you tell us about the Vegetation? Obviously, it's a little bit of a different setting this time around, sort of Mediterranean. What is it characteristic about that you wanted to bring into the game?
We have to take parts that we like, that has like the landscape features that we want from different parts of the Mediterranean. It's Spain, it's France, Greece, Northern Africa, Lebanon. So it's a lot of different parts that we cooked together to make the island of Medici. So we have some dry parts. We also have a lot of verticality in the game, so we even have some snow-covered parts in the game. So there's a lot of different types of landscapes. It's been really fun to work with.
Yeah, talking about that verticality, how's that different from your perspective working on that? Because I can understand that was something that was pretty early on in game design, that it's going to be way more vertical.
That's why the Mediterranean has been such a good setting for this game, because it fits very well with Rico's new abilities like the wingsuit and so on, because we have these very vertical cliffs everywhere, so that's a good point to grapple to wherever you are in the world. I forgot your questions while I was answering.
I think you sort of answered it, so no problem.
The Mediterranean setting that's really, it marries like the new features like the wingsuit, the grapple hook, and so on. It's really great for Rico's type of movement.
Although we don't see them very long typically in the game, what kind of thinking goes into building out the bases and that stuff? Is it just about placing as many explosive tanks as possible in one little area, or what kind of thinking goes into it?
Usually when we start from an art perspective, we first have our designers, they put up we call it gray boxing, so it's a simple geometry. To get a feel of how Rico moved through the bases. So that's established really early in the process, just like the distance between things and so on. And then we have our concept artists create, this is how we want the final look to be, and then it's up to me and my colleagues to create that image in the game, so to say. But there's a lot of trial and error when it comes to placement and stuff, so it changes all the time. We have had extensive playtesting for the game during most of the production. So.
How does it work? Are you responsible for a specific base, or do you work on specific areas on a lot of different bases, and it's sort of a collaborative thing? Or
from art, I've worked with a colleague, Frida. We made a few bases together. Then we have the responsibility from the art perspective for that base, but also their designers and so on. It's been a little bit of a special situation since we have been working in Stockholm, while most of the design team has been in New York. So it's been a lot of Skype and so on. But yeah, basically I get to assign the base and then do the best of the situation.
So I was thinking, like, because people will start playing this at midnight, and is there a specific base that you're particularly proud of that you want people to see that you could name?
Yes, I hope I get the right name now. Vegilator is the big radar base with a big radar dish, and it's a communication type base. I think that turned out really well.
Any location-wise, is it north, south, east, west?
It's in the first area. I don't know the specifics.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
It's really big. It's lit up at night, and it's pretty early in the game. It's very cool.
Cool. And don't blow it up too fast, because then you won't be able to see it. So.
Exactly. But you can blow it up several times in our challenge modes. So.
Cool. Last question, the standard sports question. How does it feel to sort of finally be here at the finish line after all this work put into the game? It's out now and people will be able to play it.
It feels strange. It's awesome, and at the same time it's really cool. It's gonna be wonderful to see what people do with it. I can't wait for the YouTube videos, because we did a lot of silly stuff when we play tested and while we developed this game, but to see what the players will do will be really interesting. I think people will come up with some really crazy stuff.
So how do you get away from sort of that feeling of assets being recycled and areas looking the same? How do you get away from that?
In our art direction, we had, like, from the beginning, separated the different islands that is Medici into different areas that would have different vibes. We have different kinds of towns, poorer towns in some areas where you have more rich communities in other parts of the world. We also use different kinds of biomes, like vegetation, in different areas of the world, so you don't get that repetitive stuff. So when you get to a new region, you will see something new. You won't see the same thing everywhere. So that's a part of it. There's a lot of small things that makes the variation, so that you don't feel that it is too repetitive.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.